There we go. We are live again. Okay. So I think my streaming software might have a memory leak or something, and that it runs out of RAM at some point. It's only 32-bit software, so I think it's maxing out after like 45 minutes of recording. It's fine. It's all working again. You guys missed a plane almost hitting us. It was terrifying. There he is. There's the bastard. Where'd he go? Showboating crop duster. I did not realize he was here in the game. It's sinister. Absolutely sinister. It was a great jump scare. I screamed. It was wonderful. Where are we? Yeah, I've run into a few people I know out on the road. It was actually caught in one of my videos a few months back. I was picking up Pepsi sweet tea in Michigan. No, Coca-Cola sweet tea. I forget. I think it was Coca-Cola actually. I think that's a Coca-Cola plant. But up in Michigan, they've got a really cheap source of water, so they make a lot of their juices and fruit stuff up there in Michigan. And as I pulled up to the guard shack, a friend of mine was coming out, so it was very cool. And the guard got mad at us for talking to each other. It was awesome. Yes, tumbleweeds are, that was one of those things where when I saw my first tumbleweed, it was very, very strange, a surreal moment, because they actually look like that in real life. They're just bouncing balls of twigs. It's amazing. They're real. Oh, I see other Jim Palmer trucks every day. There's over 500 of us on the road, so we're all over the place. Heck, I see other Prime trucks every few minutes most of the time out on the road. We are very much two national companies. I also consider seeing Wiltrans, ONS, and RJ's trucks seeing a Jim Palmer truck. We're all the same company. We're all Wilson Logistics. Good grief, we're over $1 million on the side now. Awesome. Woo! We almost clipped that car that was parked there. This little town with all these roadside businesses, that's a real place in, I think it's technically in New Mexico. But it's awesome. Oh no, Jim Palmer's huge. We hit 500 trucks right about when I started, and we've only been adding more and more since I've been driving. We just bought Haney Truck Lines up in the Pacific Northwest. They're just calling that Wilson Logistics Pacific Northwest. So those are the first trucks to only say Wilson Logistics on the side instead of another company name, and then a little tiny Wilson Logistics sticker somewhere on the door. They are very cool. We just picked up a couple of brand spanking new 2018 Peterbilt 579s equipped for heavy haul operations up in the Pacific Northwest. Those are rolling now. I haven't gotten to visit that terminal yet, but we got a new terminal along with the new company, and we got a bunch of drop yards too. So we have a huge presence. I almost said president again. I don't know what's wrong with me. We have a huge presence up in Washington, in Oregon now, thanks to that acquisition. If I'm still driving a truck in 9 years, I don't know if I'll still be at Jim Palmer. I suspect in 9 years the trucks will be driving themselves. So we'll see how that works out. Are you out of my way? Yes. Okay, cool. Dude. Oh, I forgot to turn my lights on. That was actually not not an okay maneuver. It's not an okay maneuver if you don't have the lights. Ah, there it is. There's the VLA. You see the satellite dishes stretching into the distance. Those are radio telescopes. This is a real place that I have been in one of my favorite videos that I've released on my channel. We're gonna pull over here and check it out. Do. Ah, so this is a very large radio astronomy observatory. It is nestled in the middle of this valley in near Magdalena, New Mexico. Magdalena is a town just east of here that is not represented in the game. It's pretty close to Socorro. The railroad tracks are used to move the dishes into different configurations. They've got 3 different setups. Those tracks go out about 25 miles from the center of the observatory to the edges of the canyon that they're in. So they can position all of the telescopes. Actually, I think it's 20 miles, 26 or 27 telescopes, but they can position them in various configurations to see farther or in more detail. It's very cool. There's this whole big contraption that it takes 2 railroad tracks for this massive locomotive that moves those things around to travel, and it can make 90-degree turns. There are spots where this big square locomotive that sits on 2 separate railroad tracks, it pulls up to this intersection of 4 tracks, and it picks itself up off of one track, turns itself 90 degrees, and drops itself onto the other. It is awesome. It is an amazing machine, and it can move those things all over this valley into the different configurations. When I was there, they had it in the tightest configuration, in which there are no dishes on that side of the highway. They're all on that side near the center of the observatory. It's the Carl Jansky Very Large Array Telescope. They've got quite an online presence. Oh, you're gonna hit me, aren't you? Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Thank you. That's a Jim Palmer trailer too. Oops. Oops. But yeah, no, there's no trains on these tracks. These tracks are entirely for the purposes of moving the telescopes around. They're not curved though. That's a little bit inaccurate. There are no curves in those tracks in real life. It is an incredible facility. It's the location where they filmed a whole bunch of the movie Contact. So if you go down there, they've got a lot of really neat memorabilia things from that film. They also filmed part of one of the Terminator movies out there. I think it was the bad one, Salvation or Genesis. I don't know which. I haven't seen either of them. It's one of the really new Terminator movies. Had a scene filmed out there. But it's absolutely incredible. And Jodie Foster narrates the welcome video in the welcome center for the telescopes. Though you have to turn off everything, all of your electronics when you go in there. No cell phones, no radios, no microwaves, nothing that transmits on any electromagnetic frequency whatsoever, because it can interfere with the radio telescopes. I assume they've got some way to filter out interference from the highway, because the highway really does run right through the middle of the telescope. It just goes right through the middle of it. So I assume they've got some way to filter out at least a little bit of cellular traffic, because they do have cell signal in the valley now. They didn't used to. The whole reason it's in this valley is because the mountains block radio transmissions from most of the cities nearby. So, very cool facility. The city of Magdalena would be right about here in the game if it were represented. That's the nearest town to the telescope. Do-do-do-do. So we're coming into Socorro instead. Yeah, I really like that telescope. I'm so happy they actually put it into the video game. It's such a cool place to visit. And it's got truck parking, which makes it even more awesome. Though Maxwell and Prime trailers have enough little radio beacons and stuff all over them that I parked my truck about 2 miles away from the telescope and walked in. Just to make extra sure I did not interfere at all. Alright, and stop. So once again, this is a city I've been to in real life, Socorro, New Mexico. Neat little RV park right there. It's kind of neat. There's a little bit of this road over that way that is so accurately rendered that... Oh, I thought I could turn right here. Oops. Okay, so it's not that road, it's the next road. This road is so accurately rendered that an auto parts store where I parked and used their ATM is represented in the game. Like, it's a real auto parts store, is in the right spot, and not 100% accurately generated, but it's pretty close. So they did their research for the New Mexico DLC. They very much did their research. Lots of stuff in the right place. Is that a little UFO? That is a little UFO. Lots of stuff in the right place and in the right appearance for reality. We're gonna need to stop and sleep soon, and I'm running a little low on fuel. Anybody coming? No. Sweet. Yes, but they're behind me already. Cool. Perfect. And hello, Interstate 25, and goodbye, Interstate 25. Immediately exit for US Highway 380. This is not a road I've been on in real life. We have not traveled to that part of New Mexico. I think 380 is the road that goes past White Sands, the missile test range out there. What do I think of Swift transportation? Oh dear, oh dear. They do maneuvers like that all the time. Swift is one of the biggest countries in the, or not countries, one of the biggest companies in American trucking. I think it is actually the biggest American trucking company. So they employ more drivers than any other company, which means they get in more accidents than any other company. Just because that's the way it works. The more employees you have that drive trucks, the more of your trucks will crash. But they're also not terribly careful about who they hire, and they're not always super good to their employees, so they don't attract the best people to start with. No, I would still be your friend. I have friends that drive for Swift. There are some amazing drivers that drive Swift trucks, but there are also some very bad drivers that drive Swift trucks. It is a full spectrum, but you see them get involved in accidents more often simply because there's more of them on the road than any other company. They also don't pay very well. They're usually one of the lowest ranked companies as far as paychecks go. And of course there are so many drivers working for them that it can be difficult to interact with their dispatchers sometimes, from what I understand. Though, I mean, they've got terminals everywhere. All over the place. Oh, I believe they are the biggest national carrier. Absolutely. Swift owns... Let's see, they bought out Central Refrigerated a while back, and then just recently they bought Knight Transportation, so that's all one big happy company now. If they weren't the biggest in America before they bought Knight, they're definitely the biggest now. Do-do-do-do. 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 I really hope we get to Alamogordo before I have to stop and sleep. We're cutting it a little close. How far are we from our next sleep stop? 2 hours, 41 minutes of in-game time, so we do have to be parked by... Let's see, 1900, I think? Yeah, 1900, we have to be we have to be parked, or else my driver's going to fall asleep at the wheel. No, that was definitely Swift on the buyer's side of that. I know quite a few night drivers that quit because of that. Indiana Jack, I think, left Night because they got bought out by Swift. He's an owner-operator now, independent with Traveloco. Whoop! That was close. Pay attention to the road. Stop looking at the chat. Pay attention to the road. In what little I've played of American Truck Simulator multiplayer, this is one of the few places where I run into other drivers very frequently. It's this intersection here. Presumably, this is based on a real intersection with a whole bunch of truck services. While we're here, let's drive through all of these businesses just so they turn yellow on my map. There we go. There's one. We're gonna sleep here while we're here. Do and do. Yeah, you can hear my driver yawning now. Time for sleep. Oh, my engine brake's still on. Oops. Alright, let me sleep. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. There we go. Ding. 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 Sleeping. Yeah, I'm familiar with Squirrel's YouTube channel. I watch his stuff all the time when I am driving. Not when I'm physically driving, but like when I'm on the road. If I don't necessarily have time to play the video game, I will often watch Squirrel's videos to see all the new DLC that has come out for the game. Stop. All right, engine off. Fuel time. I know it doesn't sound great in the game. It's a little suggestive. There we go. Full fuel tanks. Do. Stop. That guy's pretty far away. Let's pull through the truck stop across the street to count that one off of the list. And nobody coming. Cool. Do and do this one as well. Cool. All right. Now, as far as the game is concerned, I have visited every one of these businesses. Nobody coming. Cool. Let's make the right turn and head for Alamogordo. Ah! Well, that's what I get for looking at the chat. No, that's not the button I wanted. Let's check and see. Is the trailer okay? Oh, no, the trailer's not okay. No! We got damaged. I'm so embarrassed. What do you mean day-to-day loads, Neptune? I do not know what you mean by that question. We have some Jim Palmer trailers. We don't have very many of them left on the road in our company. We have 2 or 3 in Springfield and 2 or 3 in Missoula. I've seen them rented out to the local Walmart up in Missoula. Just a fun side story. The local Walmart ordered so many turkeys for Thanksgiving last year that they did not have room to store them. So they borrowed one of our Jim Palmer trailers to store all of the frozen turkeys in one of their docks over the Thanksgiving holiday. It was kind of neat. Oh, some of them drive during the day, go home at night. We do have some day cab drivers up in Springfield and a couple down in Texas, and I think they might use some of the old Jim Palmer trailers. I know I saw one of the Jim Palmer trailers being pulled by our day cabs in Springfield, coming out of the ice caves near our terminal there. But for the most part, the Jim Palmer trailers are used for training now. Also, of course, the company sold a ton of them right when Wilson bought the company. They just got rid of all the old trailers. And they didn't repaint them first, so they're all over the place being driven by other companies. Still with the Jim Palmer phone number and logos all over them. So yeah, unless you see a Jim Palmer trailer being pulled by a Jim Palmer truck or some kind of Wilson truck, it is almost surely not one of ours anymore. Yes, the day cabs are a very lovely yellow color with a Wilson logo on the roof. Curb. I feel kind of bad driving with just my high beams on, but not like anyone in the game complains. I think we're in Alamogordo now? Yeah, we're in Alamogordo. Alright. Do. Where are we delivering? Also, I have no idea if I'm saying Alamogordo right. Do you pronounce the O? Do you not pronounce the O? I have no clue. I just ran this red light, and it didn't give me a ticket. I have no idea why that worked. Is this where I'm delivering? I think it is. How do we get in there? I think this is the entrance. Right, let's pull in there before this truck blocks our path. I think the way to do this one is to go this way. Now that we have entered the property. And we're gonna back. We're going to back into the parking lot behind the place, because I've picked up here before in multiplayer. You can kind of see they designed it so that you might back your trailer through here, because they got that little cutout in the curb here to make that easier. Oop. Oh dear! Oh dear! Good grief! Those poles just jumped out of the ground and fell over. I don't know what happened to them. I definitely didn't see a truck touch them. I mean, that was just... I think someone... Yeah, firecrackers, definitely. There were firecrackers in those poles, and they just came flying out of the ground all on their own. Very strange. Very strange indeed. Huh. Alright. It's going to be an interesting maneuver we need to do to get in there. Do. Thank goodness stuff in video games is so much flimsier than stuff in real life. Alright, we overcooked that. Yeah. Alright, how do I get this around this corner without putting my truck all the way up against that curb? Oh, I think we might have it here. Yes, there we go. Alright, now straighten up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Much better. Tricky corner. Especially with a long trailer. I bet this would be a much easier delivery to make with a nice short trailer. Ding, ding, and ding. Unhook. I hope no one from Jim Palmer's watching this. I'm trying to be a good streamer and interact with the chat, and it's making my driving much worse. When I just play this game on my own, I never hit anything. I blame you guys for all of the accidents in this video. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see. Do we have time for another run? Let's see if we can make this. Yeah, let's see if we got anything nice and short. Do. External contracts. I need more gifts. More gifts. No. No. Oh, fireworks. That sounds dangerous. Oop, there we go. Sierra Vista. Ooh, we don't get there very often. Oh, it's the super ugly default trailer. Yeah, I guess so. Let's do it. I do not have the Prime trailers currently installed. I forget which mod is which, but one of the Prime trailer mods that I have on my computer is a little bit longer than the default trailers in the game. And the AI trucks sometimes get into accidents with them, and it causes these nasty little snarls of traffic. So I've currently got them uninstalled to avoid situations like that from happening. Oh, I need to be over there. You see nothing? You see nothing? That's fine. I don't... Hopped a curb? I don't know what you're talking about. That curb had those tire tracks on it already before I got here.